Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Gary's Mod. And today, the map we're going to be exploring is simply titled GMOD. And this one has a little bit of a unique backstory to it. That's blinding. So, this was made by a member of the community who, after years of frustrations with starting and not being able to finish projects in Hammer, decided to take everything that they've worked on and compile it all into a single abstract explorable map. And when they spoke about their frustrations with this, I really related to it because I myself have put out a map, but I have worked on so many more, and it's weird because for as annoying and aggravating and outdated and limited as Hammer is, I also find it so much fun to work on. I've often said in these maps that I find there to be something so therapeutic about being able to kind of channel creative ideas into a physical, explorable space. And so, I don't know, there was something about the story of this map that really made me want to check it out, because I think, like all art, a creator can kind of speak to you through the environments that they have you walk through, and I really think it'll be fun to kind of go through this and think about what the creator was thinking when they made it. For example, this right here, we're starting out in a small enclosed room leading down a hallway to a staircase. In other words, this was probably meant to be something more single-player oriented, maybe the start to some kind of story map. Ooh. That noise is coming from this generator powering the lights down there. It's almost like someone dug us up and then left before we gained consciousness. Do you hear that? It's like some digital birds flying over this place. What is this? Oh, that looks so ominous. Floodlights hanging in the dark. Casting a beam like we're walking through a fog we can't even see. Ooh. A bunch of catwalks just crisscrossing unnaturally over each other. We can't see where they come from or where they go. But look, they pass over each other at such irregular heights you couldn't even walk on them. Ooh. If we can slip in up here, hard to do at this angle. Those floodlights aren't suspended on unseen platforms, they're actually just floating there. This is so weird. Don't like that sound. The door is open. Can we pull these levers? No, and I was quite nervous doing so. This feels so disorienting, the way it's sloped downward. I can honestly feel my legs like slipping out from under me. Oh, look at this lighting. That is beautiful. And eerie. It's like I can almost feel faces waiting, staring at me. In fact, in the back right wall, do you see that? It's almost like there's a shadow being cast by an unseen passenger. And they're all just waiting for me to get off at my stop. Look, the exterior of the bus is entirely black. As much a part of the void as anything outside of it. Hey, look at that. We were getting some weird draw issues right there. But even though the spotlights point the way, even though it looks like something we weren't meant to see, we're being guided into a hall of dev textures. I always get uneasy when the sound just abruptly cuts out like that. I imagine this is our transition from one map to the next. There's a dark corner back here. Ooh, and a space up above the room. I wonder if there's any way to get up there? Yeah, it looks like there's an observation platform. But no way that I can see. I can start to hear something over here, but that may just be the generator back in the starting area. Ooh. It looks like the parking lot of a shopping center or something. I honestly can't tell if this is supposed to be a night scene or if the ceiling really is just so high up. No, there's a spot of light over there. It's just so high up, my light doesn't reach. Oh, it opens on its own. TF2 assets. You know, I never stopped to consider what game they would be mapping for. The area we started in seemed to use, like, Counter-Strike textures. But this is a place where you prepare to go into battle, a spawn room. I wonder if this whole room was maybe supposed to be populated with more geometry. Maybe as evinced by the control point in the center. This is like the earliest possible point in a map's development, and, well, to be honest, I kind of get that. I have, like, 2 maps of medium completion, one that's fully complete, and probably, like, 20 that basically never got anywhere, just an idea. And this, I guess, would be the other player's spawn room. Kind of strange, though, isn't it? That they're so close together with just one control point in the center. There's a whole lot of extra space here, although I can kind of relate to the impulse to just make a map that is, like, as big as it can possibly be, and then say, okay, I'll totally fill this up later, and then realizing I don't have enough gas in the idea tank to make that happen. That was really weird. It was like the sounds of a gathering on the other side of a door. It just stopped as abruptly as it started. Was it all coming through here? Now I'm really nervous. Guys, not for nothing, but you guys remember that game Anatomy by Kitty Horror Show, right? For those who don't, it was basically positing the idea that a house can become angered, become resentful at the thought of being abandoned, at no one living in it for some time. Do you think abandoned maps can come to feel the same way? Do you think in the absence of anyone to finish them, they can take on a life of their own? Hearing the generic sounds of conversation, of a cough in the next room, is really quite disconcerting in a map that I know to be unfinished, especially since that cough is so persistent. Also, I could have sworn it was coming from, like, right here, but now it sounds more like it's coming from this way. Ooh. Bernard's door and a map I've never explored. Oh, look at this. A crawl space, an attic. Maybe you were working on a horror map? Look, this was clearly meant to be a window, but now even the glass is just a dev texture. And being separated by door frames of dev texture makes it even creepier. It's like some kind of showroom for maps. Okay, I'm gonna head back and look at the rest of this first before I move on. Oh my god. I hate that. I hate that so much. I literally put my hands out because my instinct was, they're right there. I need to apologize for bumping into them. Okay, nothing. These soundscapes, like, make no sense. Like, how have I just walked into something windy? Oh, right, there was a staircase, or rather, a ramp. That is such a strange choice, a ramp. Then again, maybe it's a player clip that's been textured over with wood temporarily. Content removed due to source limitations. And that sound, which, after the last time I asked, you guys informed me this song that's playing is actually found in the Half-Life 2 game files. Kind of strange. Maybe it was meant to be playing on TV or something. I don't believe it was actually used in the final product. But it's just one of those weird things that's just kind of part of source history at this point. An in-joke, almost like the Wilhelm scream among mappers. Ooh. The scale of this is so strange. Like, it's so wide. I would be slipping right down here. But there's nothing out here. Oh, and over here, I bet, is the big window that was above us when we walked in. Look. As a matter of fact, this overlooks the entire TF2 area. Although, I'm guessing that this wasn't actually supposed to be part of that. Okay, back into the attic. I'm really curious what's beyond that door at the back end of the room. It's whiplash transitioning between these different types of textures, these different types of spaces. It is actually liminal, like by definition. But there's something more to it. I'm telling you, the idea of taking all these different, unrelated in premise projects and sticking them together, that really adds something to the experience because they're truly not meant to fit together in any way. Hang on, hold that thought. While we're here, I would also really like to know what that breathing and, like, wet, maybe eating noise is. Weirder still that we're hearing it amid TF2 textures. Like, I would believe it further back in what looks like a Half-Life 2 horror map, but this is something different. I wonder if some of these things weren't changed or added as part of this map, or if they really were cooking with something weird here. What I was going to say is that in a normal liminal space map, obviously it's expected that you'll be transitioning between different types of spaces, but usually even within those, there's some type of intended pacing of the experience. Here, absolute whiplash. No rhyme or reason, at least not that I can see. And in a way, it actually almost does a better job of achieving that effect. Ooh. Oh my. Something about the size of this is really off-putting to me. Well, let's see if we can find some way to cross. I can see an exit on the other side. I'm still giggling to myself about that sign that says source engine limitations reached. I remember how many problems I had trying to get Macy State to work. Namely, with the way I was handling door frames and windows, I had to come up with a whole other solution involving third-party software just to make that able to compile. Seems like we potentially can enter this one, or at least we can see inside. I wonder what the significance of that would have been, being able to see inside a single car. Maybe that was supposed to be loaded up with a scare, someone standing there staring ominously as a train passed by? Yep. Okay. How am I getting through this? Oh no, there is a little ladder right here. Okay, excellent. Up we go. It's not just a rail signal, it's there to draw our attention. Once more, those auditory transitions are abrupt and jarring. And that cough so real sounding that I feel like I'm gonna see someone, maybe even someone familiar as I round a corner. I'm looking at this, and you know what? I already have some idea of what it's gonna be. It's like an old memory I don't recall until I'm standing before it. It's going to be those weird angled stairs with a little kitchenette off to the right. Yeah, I knew it! I guess I know my liminal spaces well at this point. It also doesn't help that this is one of the more unsettling ones. Once more, content removed due to source limitations. But perhaps not entirely. Okay, we'll come back to that. You know, I was thinking that song has come to be sort of a shorthand for a tear in source reality, of not being able to continue past something that was there before. Seems like that's just a very prominent light switch, though, that does nothing. And neither does this go anywhere. Of course, one big factor of liminal spaces is seeing a corner to go around. Doesn't matter if it actually goes anywhere, because I think I made this observation before. A big part of the appeal of liminal spaces is that they're not explorable, in the sense that a lot of the time it's something that only works from a certain angle. The photograph makes it into what it is. Let's move on through. Like, you ever have a dream where you see a hallway and opening a doorway, but you just have an intuitive sense that, oh, I can't go that way? Is someone setting the table behind us? Whew. I picked the wrong day to wake up with neck pain. Looks like I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Wow, I really feel for you in the event that one of these bolts comes loose. No, 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 no! There's a weird thing going on here, and I don't know if it's just my OVR settings. It's really weird because, first of all, I can see that there's nothing beneath the toilet and the sink, but also the gap is right in front of the door. Like, I can just look at that and imagine somebody opening this, not paying attention, and going in one leg first and tumbling over sideways into the deep. There's something that always sets me personally on edge at looking at an accident waiting to happen. But also, there's a weird thing going on with the scale here. Like, I feel like a giant. Maybe it's just my OVR settings. This is extremely bright, and even still, these dev textures are just intermixed in. Look at that, like furniture placed directly in front of a door. These rooms all go together sequentially, or no, they don't. I really have to wonder what the intention of some of these was. And that's the thing, these are basically just ideas left floating in time. We can only guess at what their origin was, but at one point, somebody had a grand plan for this. It's all just orphaned ideas. Yep. Come on, let me through. Yeah, there we go. And it's just another bathroom. Now, I'm going to want to be extra cautious to make sure I check everywhere, because the developer does say that there is a hidden dev room, and I would like to try and find it. That sort of implies that you don't access it by no-clip. How about a hidden dev city? Whoa. I thought that would be like a paved area or a street or something. Not so. Okay, here's the street over here. It looks like they only got as far as, like, the layout planning. The streets are all here, albeit untextured. And only one building in the distance over there. Well, I suppose one right here as well. And even though the city itself may be entirely unbuilt, the ambiance is already moved in. You know, this was one of the key points I talked about in my Why Are Source Games So Creepy video all those years ago. It's the ambiance seemingly divorced from the reality of the unreality that you find yourself in. All right, let's see what's up here before we move on. 3 doors. And a ladder going upward. Would this have been roof access? Okay, this might be... Yep, it is roof access, but in VR, that's going to be a difficult maneuver. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, so because movement on a ladder is tied to my right hand, I needed to reach out with the left while not coming off of the ladder. Yep. Listen to that. It's even got the windy, distant streetcar ambience. That's kind of hilarious, especially considering how short this building is. But it's weird how complete the soundscapes are, considering that was like one of the last things I did on Macy State. Still, I do somewhat appreciate the scale of these rooms, even if it is a bit strange that they're so narrow themselves, yet the ceiling's so high. I get it. This was probably part of what we saw outside. This, I bet, was supposed to be like a hotel or an apartment on an RP map. Okay, we solved that one, I assume. But there's only one place for us to go. Let's just make sure we watch our step and that all these streets are really streets. That all these plazas where buildings should go are actually solid. Yep. By the way, I'm getting really freaked out right now because it is extremely windy outside my house. Ooh. And it means I'm hearing creaking of boards all around me. You never feel quite so vulnerable as when you're wearing one of these headsets. All alone in your room at 4 a.m.? I am noticing something up there, which leads me to believe that there may be some way to climb this building. Alright, let's try this. I don't even know how high that ceiling goes. Maybe the whole height of the building. Maybe floors weren't really implemented yet. Nor was the ceiling ever. But there's an ominous red glow beyond there. That probably leads to something. Something like a ladder. That must be what we were seeing. Danger. Admittance to authorized personnel only. Well, the map maker literally suggested this, so I'm going to assume that includes me. Oh, my God. Whoa. Okay. You know what? It's clear that they worked on creepy horror-ish maps. Who knows what kind of remnants may have been left here. Oh. Hey, guys. Okay, I was gonna ask if you were gonna let me out, but I think the answer is right there. Looks like I'm making my own way in the world. These stairs are clipped. They were improving their game as they went. That is so cool. It seems like we've climbed out of an RP map and straight into a horror map. Although we can still hear those sounds of the city. Okay, we can't go through here. Nor can we go through this, I bet. Okay, maybe I will have to ask you if I can get out again. Ow. Okay, I guess damage hasn't been implemented yet. I was wrong. I just have to reach through the bars. Well, now the key is further away. It strikes me as very odd that there wouldn't be any way to continue from here, especially since it's such a long way back to any kind of exit. I mean, there was still that area to the left of us when we entered onto the dark TF2 room. Maybe we really do have to walk back? Then again, I noted when I came up here that window does look suspiciously different from the others. Awesome. I'm so glad I figured that out. That's one of those things that I could have spent forever on. All right, let's hop through. Men really live in an apartment like this and don't see any problem. Hello? Well, the safety lock is certainly getting its uses in. We're clearly not the only ones here. No. 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 Although the fact that these doors aren't solid is also cause for concern. Police, wellness check. After that bullet went through the door, are you still well? Wait. It's a whole different city. Ow. This one just a bit more complete. I wonder if this was part of the horror map? The apartment sure seemed like it. or if this was supposed to be part of the RP map that came before it. It's so weird, like, the melding of genres constantly. It makes for some truly strange design, but I'm sort of digging it. Oh my. Well, looks like we might have to go out Devil's Rejects style. Or at least, they might. Alright, let's do this. Just imagine Freebirds playing. Yeah, this one goes a little bit differently. Does that mean I get your car? Because that thing looks pretty cool. Can't get into that alleyway. Oh, I see. This was probably meant to be like a big scripted set piece. We escape through that apartment, jump out the window at the last moment, maybe during a chase, come around, round the corner. Whoa, there's a whole bunch of guys right here. Maybe we could try to fight them, or more likely, dash up and around to here and make the jump over to the ladder, sealing our escape. I mean, not my escape, but like some theoretical flat screen player's escape. This is going to be annoying. I could also go up and over this fence over here. Yep. And indeed, it seems that I'm meant to. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything up there anyway. So let's continue. Although it is bothering me, so I'm sure I'll be back on my own time later. There's an opening here. Blue lights seem to indicate breakable windows. But in this case, I guess it won't be necessary. I can just imagine after your great escape, this is the place you come in to sort of settle down right after. Maybe the place where you meet some story characters who whisk you away to safety. Although that weird sound is back. Wait. Oh, that's a mirror! That's a mirror. I don't know why my reflection is shorter than me. But that is a mirror. Hang on, wait. Maybe I need to fix something. No wonder. I've been calibrated incorrectly all this time. That's why I felt like a giant. Huh. A dirty mirror where I look like a dark silhouette. That's certainly one way to change that trope on its head. That actually did get me. Because at first I thought it was like a plastic sheet or something, you know, like you'd find in the back of a store. But where to from here? Unless... Yeah! Why else would there be sconces? Okay, now I know this was to be the lair of the Resistance. Maybe even a scaled-up version of Kleiner's teleporter? Oh, look! Oh my god, look! Huh, are these maybe the same catwalks that we saw earlier? That is... I wonder if these were actually part of a map, or if they're just a connecting device meant to show us the unfinished nature of all this. Nothing seems to happen if we step inside here. Alright, we need to figure out if we can jump up and over. We can. So always keep the safety Glock topped off. I can hear that music again, which means, sure enough, yep. Content removed due to source limitations, including the wall the sign was placed on. Wow, even the signs themselves are twisting and distorting into unreality. The staircase that doesn't quite fit where it goes. It's like they just started throwing stuff all over out of frustration with the engine. All these misplaced dev textures and disused textures. Just kind of weaving our way through signs saying, hey, sorry, this ain't finished. Wow, and these are actually solid, even if they don't look it. Maybe that was a remnant of a portal map? I've got to wonder if all these fragments of maps actually show up all together, or if maybe they're split up and placed around, like one part of a map over here and another part over there. That's like the line getting into the Rainforest Cafe here. Yeah, this is actually what the later stages of making a map is like. This is what's going on inside your brain right before release when you're trying to sort out all those issues. Yep. I don't know what this is, but I can hear a distant drum beat. And that looks like a door in the corner over there. It's like a prison yard or something. Alright, let's make a run for that building. It's our only way beyond the fence. Nothing back there. As safe as the safety Glock makes me feel, this may be a job for the flashlight. You know, this is a strange idea, but I feel like enough maps like this, you could actually associate the dev textures with creepiness. Imagine that. The feeling being associated with abandoned works. Things that will never see the light of day despite the great plans a creator might have had for them. And just being in an early state of being part of something nostalgic that you didn't even know existed. I think that's part of why people are so fascinated with, like, the Half-Life betas and stuff. Like, we've all come to know these games so well, and so to see some side of them that we somehow weren't aware of, and just to see something we're familiar with looking so different is a bit jarring. Like, it makes us feel almost as if we'd realized we remembered something completely wrong. This is a maze. And I am hearing some sounds. Oh my God! Barney! I'm sorry, I was taller before, but I fixed it. I could have met with you on your level. Oh my God! Okay, you're waving me in. Is there something I'm meant to do? Oh, look at me wrapping myself around your leg like a cat. Am I the one you still have nightmares about? Jesus, I was not ready for that after all this time. I was doing whimsy, not creepy. This just leads us all the way back around. Wait. Oh no, we have made it to the other side of the fence. I haven't seen everything in here, though. If we come down this way, I think we've been in this room. This is quite large, but nothing here. Okay, I think that's all of it. Since this is a case where I was asked to play a map, I'm really wondering if some of this stuff wasn't included specifically to screw with me. But we've made our way to that door. Let's see what's beyond. I'm wondering if at a certain point we'll actually circle back to where we started. Ah, now this is definitely a resistance outpost. There, we can find a health kit, some ammo, even a gun. And whatever that doohickey up there is. Some nice classical music on the radio. Oh yeah, this is a reward at the end of your troubles. Problem is, I think we really have reached the end of the road with this one. Not so, actually. I don't even remember if this was here before, but there is a ladder going downward. Hang on. Ooh. Oh! Oh my god! 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 That almost ended really badly. We're straight back to the beginning. Oh wow, we can't even see where we came from looking up. That was wild. But much obliged, creator. That was supposed to be a thumbs up. Thank you for not making me have to run all the way back. This bus is no less unsettling, but for the second time it delivers me to my destination, so I guess I can't be too mad. Oh man, I cannot wait to do a no-clip run of this. Just around the corner, though, should be our next destination. Once more, it fades suddenly to silence. Thankfully, quickly interrupted by wind. Oh, look at this, like a huge warehouse. The entrance is blocked, though. Yeah, this definitely seems like a TF2 map. I mean, it's using all these assets. But I wonder what it would have played like. Maybe this was all part of the same one as back there. Because we've got a control point over here, and yeah, look at that. Imagine trying to capture this while you've got people entering from above and below on either side. These doors open. Ah, this is quite a sizable spawn room. So I imagine the other is just the same. Wow, this really is a meat grinder, both areas. Spawn rooms on either side of a control point that's just immediately there. And this one's even more egregious because the door literally opens onto it. Fond memories I have of those times in CTF2 Fort, where they would just build a bunch of sentries right outside the spawn rooms and it would be a huge push to get out. Live, die, repeat, huh? This whole place is a little bit more open-ended, though, than the path we just took. Where that was fairly linear, this leaves us with some choices. That gave me vertigo. Now this looks like a prison map. Oh wait, no, this is open. It looked from the other side like it wasn't. Let's see what's here. A little airlock leading to another spawn room. Oh, that's kind of clever. That's kind of clever. A spawn room that spawns beside the other, and so you can see each other in the lead up to the game. But you have to take separate paths in order to get outside. It's a little room where you can mean mug and jeer at each other. Well then, what's up here? Nothing much. Let's see what's over here then. Looks like we can, yep. Oh, it's just spawn rooms on top of spawn rooms around here. But this warehouse in the middle, I don't know if it was maybe intended to. Yeah, no, we can enter. Just only from very particular areas. Now, this is interesting. This layout almost feels more like a Call of Duty map than a TF2 one. Spawn room here. Ooh, and a whole cache of weapons here. Ah, I get the idea. This is the weapon warehouse. Fight over supplies. Finally a reason for why they're fighting in a given area. Huh, look at that. It's one of those cases where the node draw enables us to see the next area. Yep, but those glowing red lights always indicate that we're moving on, and usually up. Alright, I'll save this for a second from now. Where does this lead? Into a similar area. I wonder if this was a different iteration of the same one. Like, it looks similar with all these cargo containers laid out like this with a control point in the middle. But it's very, very... like, it's very condensed and not quite as developed. Meanwhile, you've got this spiral all the way up to the top, which adds a real sense of verticality to it. Look at that. One control point literally stacked directly on top of the other. I don't know how well this would... Ooh. I was going to say, I don't know how well this would work in actual gameplay, but it's the idea. It's the experimentation. It's just putting it into Hammer and seeing how it looks. Here we have one that's completely sealed off. This would... I can already 100% guarantee this would be demo spam. Sometimes you do know what it would be like on its face. These tiled hallways have come to take on a similar meaning to those checkpoints in pink-black maps, like the Void Places maps. Okay, what's beyond you? Nothing. Okay. I've been spoiled by that one false exit. Once more, that song is a memey way to acknowledge that Source just wasn't having it today. I'm just walking around now thinking, dang, dude, you started a lot of maps. Okay, back to this. Now the question is, up or forward? It's literally the blind corner hallway kaleidoscope. That old chestnut, although it's strange to see it done in wooden TF2 textures. Right, up here. Yep. With a slightly lesser version of the same thing up above. I've really got to wonder what the intention was with this. God, this makes me feel like a mouse crawling around in the walls. And ultimately ends with nothing. That turnaround was so tense, I swear I hallucinated something there for just a second. Alright, let's take on you then. I'm just imagining I get complacent and don't look up in one of these boxes and miss the figure stretched across the top, staring down at me as I move under it, like a spider waiting for prey to pass. The wind noise here is off-putting, but I think there's some kind of growing, more industrial sound. Although maybe it's just me. Ooh, look at this. Well, built over quite a deep moat. Okay, no, this was definitely for TF2, right? I mean, I can just imagine there being some sort of control point in here somewhere. Or perhaps not. No, this is not to TF2 scale, although it does use some textures. Ladders everywhere. Oh man, this is so much harder to pin down than the earlier track. Look at this. For as central as this is, there's Overwatch from over here, so I can imagine there being all kinds of windows or battlements inside that tower, and dueling with snipers on the roof or on the walkways of adjacent buildings. Ooh. Well, I guess we know who the head of the family is. A gap in the window here, like it was supposed to be open. It's still using all these TF2 assets, but it feels like a haunted house. It's more scaled, like a Half-Life 2 exploration map. I wonder if this isn't a conflation of two ideas, one map that got turned into something else. And I suppose with this map, got turned into something else. Yeah, maybe. Oh, look at that. Maybe this tower is being used as sort of a canvas to place all these unfinished things onto. Lamar, you really need to lay off that stuff. Hang on, wait, can I free you? I'm trying to be careful here. I know that Arc VR guns have penetration, so I'm trying to be careful. Can't go that way, okay. Ooh. Water up above. Look at that! We just climbed the tower upwards into the moat at the bottom of another map. That is so cool! Yeah, I know, crows. Crows love TF2. This map is gigantic. This also seems to be by far the most complete of the bunch. Now, they have said that this map, the one we're playing on, GMOD, is their first actual release. This one looks like it's pretty far along. The geometry is all out, the details, the textures. I mean, I look around at this and I can imagine it being played on. This one is not gonna let us through. But look, there's a walkway suspended over the caged control point. It adds a sense of verticality where you can be fired on from the adjacent levels. People below have to climb up, and people above have to drop down. Anything around the back past this truck? Not really. Look, the only thing that betrays the presence of that ladder is the light glowing under the murky water. Down we go. Or perhaps we should try climbing here first? Seems like it's only this staircase to get you upward. Which in turn goes on to this side area. Okay, back down then. Ow. Well, that's why they tell you to look before you leap. There's battlements over there, which means this is the left side from where we entered. Ooh. And this too was meant to be TF2. Here's our spawn, and here is where we would crawl up and out. Maybe we could use this as a little defensive position so that if people are spawn camping, we can poke our heads out and fire at them. Now there is a cool idea. Same thing over here, yeah. Ooh. Dark mode control point. And that wind is just so persistent until it suddenly stops. Never mind, it seems I have the magical ability to make things stop happening by saying so. Fancy dinner for two, that ambiance, the creaking wood. I wonder if they were trying to make like a Halloween-style map. It certainly feels that way. Okay, and this is spawn. We can walk up these stairs here to get to the second level. And there, I believe, is where we'll find our map exit. Unless that's also the source engine being screwy. Yep. Interesting how this side still has a bridge despite having no interconnection. Although that is where the ladder is in the current version. This is also one of those source walls. You know, I was just trying to no-clip back to spawn, and I realized that there's a whole huge canyon just over here. Why would all this have been included? It's outside of that part of the map that's above the tower. There is something here. Wow, it's like somebody blew the door straight off of this one. Like they wanted this. Now imagining the creator just trying to squeeze in that one more thing and just barely managing to get this section to work. Listen, actually, if we get close, we can even faintly hear that music. Keep strumming away, you ghost banjo. I could swear there was something else, though. I don't know if it was over here or in the tower, but I know at one point I looked through one of those gates and I saw, like, tracks. Oh, there is one here. And that is what I saw. Okay, good. Good. Ooh. I wonder if a battle was supposed to take place in here, or if it was just supposed to be an ambient map feature, something which passes by every so often. It always unnerves me when we get that bug where I lose my footsteps after coming off of a ladder. Well, whatever it did before, right now it serves as the entrance to another map. This is cool. As is that ambiance. Yep, 100% this was supposed to be a Halloween map. Okay, I am in my element. Or what was in development to become my element. And right now it sort of does feel like my element. Oh yeah, we're getting real spooky in here with the giant glowing jack-o'-lanterns. That wind just seems to be there by default. Yes, Mr. Owl, I agree. Owls also love TF2. You know, even just sound alone can trick you into thinking you're in an eerie environment. Actually, the fact that it's all dev textured up, but nevertheless still, like, feeling this way, and having all this lighting, that's kind of creepy all its own. Like, you know how childish scares can kind of circle back around to being unnerving again if you view them a certain way? That's kind of the impression that I get from this. Okay, I suspect this is the other team's spawn. Yes. I can just imagine the Haunted Mansion aesthetic that would have been applied to all of this. You know, I'm looking at all of these and I'm thinking, like, these are such good ideas. Like, how'd they not been finished? And the answer is, when you start a project, you will inevitably find that you lose motivation because that cool idea you have in your head requires a whole lot of little boring work to make it happen. Maybe things happen along the way, maybe there are challenges or technical problems that make it seem like it's not going to be feasible. Maybe you just realize, you know, if it's for gameplay, that it just doesn't work as well as you thought it would. And it can be disappointing, but, you know, they're always here. You can always come back to them. You can always make something of them, and, well, in this case, they were made into this. And now it's been enjoyed by me, and it's going to be enjoyed by all of you in the form of a video. I guess in that way, this map, or all these maps, have found another life. And of course, you can always try it yourself at the link in the description. Platform 9 3/4. Nope, not this one. But there is another way through. Sudden cessation of soundscapes. We meet again. Whoa. Oh, look at that. It's so weird. They've gone in fully theme park this thing, having us enter beneath where the floor of the map would be. Thus essentially turning, oh, actually, one of the more complete-looking ones into like a movie set. That is awesome. Well, there's a little moat below that we can probably swim into. If we climb this hill, is there anything to see? This would have been a dark, snowy battleground. The TF2 Battle of the Bulge. Oh, there is one error up in the corner there. Look at you, the Bone Brigade's keeping watch. Asleep on the job, as always. I swear they make it so easy. However, the bots from Helldivers are maybe going to make this a bit more of an issue. Oh my. Even with the obvious movie set properties, I can feel the chill. What's going on upstairs? Really weird philosophy. Like these, some of these TF2 maps seem like they're very small in scale compared to the characters. And it makes me wonder how these things would actually be meant to be played. Well, this one, I guess, specifically would be more player versus enemy oriented. So maybe it makes a bit more sense. All right, let's jump that gap. Now see, this spawn room is nice and cozy and toasty. Have I seen this person? Well, I have now. Oh, look at that. This looks like the kind of thing where you approach it and some great giant monster hand reaches through that gap to grab unsuspecting players. The ultimate noob trap. When somebody starts getting close, nobody warns them. They all just kind of sit back and chuckle to themselves about what's going to happen. I wonder if I jump down here, could I go whoop, bobbing for Easter eggs? That was astonishingly deep. Wow. I mean, it looks deep from the surface, but you really have no idea until you get down there. Right, I knew I was forgetting something like this. I never came down here. I never came down here. Bump, 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 bump. Choices, choices. Hoop. With any luck, these things just meet in the middle. Oh, listen to that echo in this tunnel. That's really cool. I wonder how you do that. And this, too, would have been a spawn room, part of that TF2 map above. Now I'm just imagining one team just kind of living like sewer rats, all rising up to take over. So that was GM what? And I have to say, I enjoyed the heck out of this exploration. This was so refreshing. Seeing so many different ideas that just don't go into the types of maps I normally explore. And the context was key here because it was so cool being able to look at these things and sort of compare them to my own experiences with Hammer. It also is sort of a map about Hammer in being a series of things made in Hammer. I mean, it's so full of the frustration that this old, outdated piece of crap that you can do so much with enables. All these ideas cobbled together and intersecting in nonsensical space. It's not just frustration, I think, with the engine, but also with creative block and issues with motivation. I mean, Macy State could probably be done by an experienced mapper pretty quickly. That took me 2 years, on and off working for 2 years. In fact, I believe the creator said that even this took like months to a year. And who knows how many years of build-up of just unfinished ideas this is. It's really weird, actually, how so many unfinished ideas that were seemingly left by the wayside actually did have a culmination. Like, they actually did all have an ultimate destiny. I don't know, it's just really cool to see these things come together and think about what they meant at different times and how their meaning changed over time. But we never did find that hidden creator room. So maybe we should start our no-clip run, because I'm really curious to see how all this fits together. Indeed, but we find what I kind of suspected, which is that it's all connected in a somewhat linear fashion for a map of this style. And yet it's so winding and zany. I mean, look at that. Just this walk right here is a work of art that I was able to relate to so much. Just these pieces of the Hammer editor cobbled together and scattered like somebody knocking all the pieces of a plan off their desk in frustration. Who'd have thought this little orange box would be such a house of horrors? There's a little bit of light over there. Ooh. There's a little bit of light over here. Can we... Whoa! We might have found an Easter egg, guys! Oh, look at this. Or maybe not? Maybe so. Oh. Maybe so. That is really well hidden. It's literally underground in the middle of a big open field. I would not have seen it if I hadn't noticed that red glow from a distance. Who? This is the eeriest creator room I've ever seen, if that is indeed what this is. My god, it's a creator room that's so well hidden I didn't even see it on a no-clip run. panel, so I'm going to be really annoyed if I'm slowly crawling through here and it turns out this is one of those looping hallways. Oh my, just how far does this go anyway? I keep thinking I can just barely see the edge, but it's just the shadow endlessly receding. Well, I don't think it's screwing with me because I can still see the red glow all the way down here. I am getting further away. Oh, this is mighty claustrophobic. I never think on these maps that I can move outside of the box. I always feel just that trapped. Oh, I stop 1 second to reposition, and our goal is in sight. You had some fun with this one, huh? Ew! Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You really put one of these right here. Well, I guess that's all. That room looks brighter than the others. Oh, here we go. Here's the creator room. Yes. All right. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, thank you. Oh, that is so cool. Huh. This is a comfy creator room. Development hell. Don't I know it? This is a developer room. Look, there's all the discarded panels. CA anomaly? What is this about? Wait. CARC anomaly? Hang on, wait, I'm screen sheeting here. Anomaly. I really love all these panels just kind of strewn about. Like, all this is the extra Legos that were still around at the end of the project. And you know what? After finding, where is it? That over there, I just kind of assumed there was a bamboozle. When I saw that this was here, I assumed this has to be it. But nope, it is just a really long and really weird secret. Look at this. One city actually stacked on top of the other. Looking around some more, I have no idea where this creator room could be, if it's not indeed just a prank to get us to be excited when we find that little thing. But either way, well played. This was a ton of fun. And I hope you keep messing around with Hammer, because you've clearly got some cool ideas, especially in the meta sense. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this map out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.